Daddy Squared. Gay Dads Save the World.
A daily dose of gay dads on the front lines of the global pandemic.
With Alex McGann and Jan Dick.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Daddy Squared, Gay Dads Save the World, day 26. We have 4 to go, Alex.
Wow.
We made a promise to do 30. Did we make this promise?
No, I mean,
Nobody
you
promised anything.
may have made that promise to yourself,
Yes.
but still.
So it's 30 dads, 30 days.
Wait, 30 dads, 30 days, 30 gays. But it's more than 30 gays because some of our interviews have had
Yeah,
couples.
that's right.
But still.
Anyway, I'd like to talk to you, Alex, about fasting. So, you know that I've been doing this thing when I started running at night when nobody sees me and nobody can see how fat I am. I eat cake during the day. That everyone can see.
Okay.
Most of the people. And then I started doing something that really worked out for me when I was working out, which is the fasting at night.
Right.
Which means that after 8 p.m. when the kids go to sleep, I just stop eating. And it's very easy because you basically collapse
It's not
at the
easy.
end of the day.
It's not easy, but go on.
Well, I think I always said that in the podcast as well, that the hardest part are the eating at night. Like after the kids go to sleep, you go to the fridge and you have like this intimate relationship with the ice cream in the
Well, that's why I'm
freezer.
saying it's not easy. I mean, for God's sake, you work before the pandemic. You work all day long. You come home. During work, you don't have that much chance to eat things anyway. You come home, you get the kids, you do the thing with the kids, you get the kids to sleep. And then there's cake. I mean, the cake is just there and it's begging to be eaten.
Anyway, so it turned out that this thing has become really popular, where people are actually fasting during the night,
Yes.
or even more than that. And when I started running and posting about it on social media, people started to ask me, "Are you fasting?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is a thing."
Right.
So, and I have to say that looking back, I don't know if you guys know this about me, but before I was a web designer, I used to be foreign press journalist for Israel, and one of the interviews that I did for Israel was with Dwayne Johnson, and he told me, by the way, that when he tries to lose weight and bulk up, he usually just stop eating at 4 p.m.
So you're saying if I stop eating at 4 p.m., I'm going to look like The Rock? That's awesome. I'm going to do it just today, though.
I didn't say that. I think it's very hard. And I think, by the way, he told me that he got this eating habit from Mark Wahlberg. I'm not
Jesus
signing on. I don't
Christ.
remember exactly who. Anyway, so apparently he does that. And apparently it's kind of a healthy thing to do because, if you don't eat for a while, it gives your digestive system a break. And it's actually your body is continue to do what it's supposed to be doing when it's not digesting, which is healing itself. Did you know that?
I guess. I mean, look, I do dream eating. I'm not even kidding. I get up in the middle of the night and eat, and I'm not even sure I'm
I thought
conscious.
you dream about eating, and
Well, I also
that's the
do
best
that.
diet.
I also want to point out to our listeners that I believe we are still during the period of Ramadan when Muslim, at least observant Muslims, they don't eat at all during the day, and then when the sun goes down, they have like a big feast every night, which I think is totally contrary to what you're talking about, and probably will not result in significant weight loss.
I don't know anything about the history of the Ramadan, but all I can say is that when you give your body a break from eating, it heals to That's what I can say, and I've read a book about it, by the way, if anybody wants to know.
You might have
I'll
to
give
post a link to that book.
All right. Anyway, today we're calling Connecticut. Michael Stokes, he's a therapist, and he has a therapy clinic in Connecticut, and let's call him now. Let's talk to him.
Let's talk to him. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, Michael.
Michael.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So I'm Jan. I'm the one with the accent, and Alex is the one without the accent.
I have an accent. It's just from Philadelphia.
We
Just
all
so
have
you-
an accent.
Right.
It's totally cool.
Just so you understand the voices.
Sure.
So let's start. Tell us a little bit about your work and how has it changed during the pandemic.
Sure. So I am a mental health therapist. I have a mental health practice, in the town where I live. And so I have about 70 mental health therapists that work within my office. And so we have, since the COVID-19 issue has come up, we have been doing telehealth services for our clients since about the March 13th really was the kind of tipping point for us to know that we need to put ourselves first as well as our clients and offer this service to our clients.
How many of your clients have kept going when you switched to virtual?
I would say that about 80% of our folks, when we let them know that we were going to go virtual, sort of shifted over with us, kind of with a seamless process. The other 20% really were skeptical, weren't tech savvy, said that they would rather wait until we got back into the office. We were sort of thinking it was going to be like a couple week thing. So we were letting them know this is going to be the interim plan for the next couple weeks. And so those 20% of, clients said, I'm good. I would rather not sort of do the telehealth thing and wait until you're back in the office when, the dust settles of the COVID-19 issue. And then we could sort of pick up where we left off.
And when you do the telehealth, do you feel that the problems have changed? Like you talk more about the COVID and the effects of the lockdown, or is it continuing what you've been working on with them before that?
No, it feels like a giant pause, with our clients. Whatever we were working on, whether that was a depressive disorder, that could have been trauma, that could have been substance use issues. It was sort of on hold while they were really dealing with, as well as us, dealing with the transition of what this new life was going to look like, and kind of making sense from, the news and social media, and kind of filtering that. So we had to take a pause and kind of process that stuff. And when I look back on it, it really highlights, a lot of the issues that they were dealing with. At the time, it felt like a pause, but really sort of looking back and reflecting, it really highlighted that anxiety disorder. It highlighted the substance use disorder, and it just made it a bit more complicated.
Right.
So when you look at your patients right now and the problems that you're dealing with during COVID-19, is there a collective sort of anxiety about something? I'm asking these questions just because if somebody who listens to us at home, and I want them to make them feel that, maybe their anxiety is like somebody that many of us experience.
Yeah, I tell my clients, as well as the folks that work for the practice when we're in team meetings and staff meetings, that we are no doubt going through a collective trauma. We are all going through this trauma together, and we are experiencing these trauma symptoms that look a lot like anxiety symptoms. Together. So we are more hyper vigilant. We are more feeling, the sort of weight of the world. And so we have to do things to combat that. Really that self-care and really tapping into the coping skills that have worked for us in the past, and really applying them to COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just let's go home for a moment. What you tell us a little bit about what you have at home, family wise?
Sure. So I have a 4-year-old adoptive daughter and a husband. My husband is at home, sort of pre and post COVID-19. My daughter typically goes to daycare. During the point that I had moved folks to telehealth really was the point that I moved my family home to. So my daughter didn't go to daycare. And I've been working from my home office, here at home, trying to balance the part-time therapist and part-time dad. And that has been extremely challenging. Even though sort of March 13th, I thought that this was going to be an easier transition, because I can sort of do everything, right? Like I can be dad more, I could be a therapist more, but that wasn't true at all.
What are you doing to keep her busy, 4-year-old?
So we are trying to take her outside as much as possible and, experience the, sort of nature in the yard. And we've been trying to, Amazon Prime these activities for her, just anything that we can do to sort of keep her busy. But she's craving that peer interaction and trying to wrap her head around why she can't go to school and why we can't go to the mall and why we can't go to Build-A-Bear and all these things that just seemed within her like routine, trying to explain that to her in a way that makes sense to her without really instilling an anxiety disorder within a 4-year-old and sharing too much.
So what do you explain to her?
So we have explained to her that there are germs and that we had to take her out of school and that we are going to stay home for a little bit so that we can really understand and get a handle on the germs that are outside. They're outside from our house. They're outside from our yard. And so, she has made comments of, I really wish that people would get better soon, or, or she'll like, think of a friend. Does, Susie have germs? And so we then try to reinforce that we're going to see Susie soon and that the germs are going to be over soon and we're going to get back to our routine. But now let's go do, and then sort of, filter in an activity there.
That's Susie. That's Susie's had cooties from the very beginning. We all know about Susie.
Yeah.
So tell me, Michael, just one before last question. So
Sure.
Did she start already with makeup and nails? I was wondering with little girls, like at which age she started now?
Yeah, so she is all about makeup, and
She's practicing on you?
Part of that is she got access to my husband's makeup kit from his old drag life. So they've been clearly dragging it up over the last couple of weeks, and sort of doing, I'll come down to either use the bathroom or get a snack, and there's wigs and like makeup and just craziness happening.
Oh my God, that's
Everybody
just
needed that drag queen.
Yeah, we really have to shop a little bit on Amazon. Listen, we want to ask you one final question, and we hope that you're willing to divulge really, really private information here. And it is, over the course of the last, several weeks, describe the most awful, disgusting thing you've eaten.
That would probably be DoorDash from Friendly's. It literally was, I think I got chicken nuggets and French fries and a disgusting sundae. And
the sundae.
Friendly's is not the place that I want to dine, but like it's the only thing that had a 30-minute delivery.
Alex is very impressed.
I'm impressed. That's a good one. Listen, we've asked other people and they've said, well, I made a salad and I just poured on the dressing. And you're like, what the fuck is that? So good good for you.
We are big bitches over here. Like, there is no salad.
Michael, thank you so much for joining us today, and we may, acquire some drag lessons from your husband.
Oh my God, we should
lessons.
totally talk to him about that.
Yeah, he can totally send it over. He can do a mean eyeshadow sort of look for you. I can't help you in that area at all. I'm sort of makeup-less. I tell my daughter, it's like only for daddy and dads, which I refer to myself as dad. Dads don't wear makeup. Daddies do.
Yes,
So-
but you can perform the therapy on our children that will be necessary after the drag. So
Totally. I'm saving in her college savings fund, and I'm hoping and praying she does not go to college because she's going to need that for therapy.
of course.
Oh my God. Yeah, I feel you.
Michael, thank you so much, and thank you, of course, for what you're doing during this time.
No problem. Thank you for interviewing me and for all that you're doing, sort of spreading out all the gay dad love.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Be well. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
That is clear.